Y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. Let's talk about this raised bed. All right, so this is the poor man's raised bed landscape border, and if you can see, I got it done, at least half of it. So I made my little angle here and included that rock. That rock's sentimental. It's been in the family. It was a syrup stone. They poured syrup over it years ago, something about syrup, so it's to stay, and it's right here. It means a lot. So anyways, around everything and the border, you can tell it's holding. If you see some leaves, that's where I raked them up best I could. I've not raked those up and put them inside the bed. I just kind of left it. This is how you top it off. Now, I've done videos on poor man's raised bed, but this right here, if you can see, you dig down and then you have your pine straw and leaves, but you really can't tell by the time you get that on it. This is just pure mulch that is up under pine straw. Decayed leaves, it's just pure good dirt, okay? It's very loose, so this is a no-till method. I did the mimosa border all the way around. Looks great. Now we've got more bags down there of leaves and things that we're going to be adding. I trimmed off the hydrangeas, and we're going to plant herbs and lettuce all through here. But it looks a whole lot different than it did once you get the mulch layer on top. It looks great, okay? So if you see the little white things in here, that's perlite. That's from seed starting cups that I had. They didn't make it, or the ducks ate all my kale. So I just kind of tossed them in there if you see that. Otherwise, it's all straight mulch, complete mulch. You can tell some areas where I was a little bit thin back there where there's leaves, but that's okay. This will grow. This is a completely free way to garden. Free border out of logs. I've got free stobs holding everything in place. It's not perfect, but it's holding. Looks good. If this starts to decay, which it will over time, we're going to go back with rock and line the outside. This is just kind of a temporary thing to get the bed built up. The bottom's lined with cardboard. Then I have pine straw and leaves. Tons of leaves, y'all. Tons of leaves. And then the mulch from where I've raked the leaves, that beautiful black mulch up under it, that's your top layer. If you have an apple core, if you've got eggshells, if you've got any kind of compost, coffee grounds, you can toss it in the middle layer and it forms an active compost. So let me show you this over here. It's kind of my curve. This is where I stopped yesterday. So see the difference here? I like the curve. That's what it looks like when you're filling it up. This is your top layer. So if you can see the difference. Now I come over here, some areas have a lot more pine straw than others. It's just where I'm having to work to get the mulch. I started making a curve. Let's see here, I've got my curve there, and then I come back around and you can see some of the cardboard, okay? So cardboard on the bottom, it looks horrible, but it will disintegrate over time, okay? No one will ever know it's there. That's to kill the grass and suppress it. That way nothing comes up through this. Never, ever, ever do a raised bed without lining the bottom with something, because then you're going to end up in a mess. Trust me, I know. I've been there, done that. So that's the finished product. I think it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And just wait until it all gets filled in with plants. You can see here I picked up more dirt than mulch. You can tell the color difference. That's okay. It all just kind of works together. Now this is the front yard. This is where I stopped. And I have a water spigot here, or water access beneath the porch. So my husband is going to install something this weekend where I'll be able to have a hose. He's going to put a spigot there. I'm going to pull up these rose bushes. Even though you can see right now they're getting sunlight, I want to move them to direct sunlight. I've got a mimosa log laying there and he's got his chainsaw. This is all going to be the cottage garden. This is our rock wall that we have been working on. We worked as hard as we could this past weekend and finally had to stop. We had one day to work with. So, but if you can see here, there's the rock wall. We've got rock everywhere, and we're backfilling with what we're cutting into on this slope. So again, all of this will be lined with cardboard. Backfill it. Leaves, mulch, it takes so much, but this, guys, is the best stuff to grow in. The best stuff. So if you don't have a level space to grow, build a block retaining wall. Now over there I kind of tossed around the idea of a mimosa log, maybe doing a mimosa border to tie it in with this cottage garden. This is just for flowers. I don't know yet. I may put stones along the walkway to hold the dirt in, because it's going to be at least a foot tall. Now down here we're looking at several feet to backfill behind that wall. But that's what we've got so far. And I am going to show you the gardens. I love the rock wall, guys. I love it. Love it. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet, but I love this so far. And it's on a slant, a hillside, so it tapers off coming up this way to make it level. I think it really adds dimension to the house and the property. I think it looks good. Very, very nice. All right, so now we are at the main garden. So check this out. The English peas are kicking it. They are climbing. They are doing beautiful. On the far side, I've got early Alaska, and on this side, closest to the bottom of the screen, I have tall telephone, and these are going to be some big pea plants. They are doing excellent. These were transplanted. You can transplant peas, guys. I lost a few. We had a frost. I didn't get some covered. I think that's what it was, but otherwise, everything I transplanted is doing beautifully. But this is the first time I've ever been able to grow English peas. All these were direct sown in the ground. So if you live in central Alabama, plant English peas at the beginning of February. They say to wait till late February. We've tried that before and they've never made it. Okay, but they are looking excellent. So over here we have our lettuce doing great. We've got black-seeded Simpson, my favorite. Got some beets coming up. Our onions, our Texas grano onions, doing very good. Cabbage, and then we've got some cauliflower and kale and broccoli. We've got all of it, but look at the garden, how it's changed just since the last video when we toured our spring gardens with you guys. Radishes, I've got to thin out, got to. This is Marvel of Four Seasons head lettuce, doing well. I'm gonna use this as cut lettuce. I did not thin it out. More black-seeded Simpson and some more at the bottom. Got more onions, and then look at this bed, guys. Look at last week and this week's video. Look at the difference. The only thing, and this is what I tell you, you will notice some of the plants might wilt a little bit in these poor man's raised beds. That's the only problem because it gets so dry, because there's nothing in here but loose soil, okay? There's our black magic kale, looks beautiful. In fact, I had a salad off this. We've got English peas that we transplanted, cabbage, radishes. I've got to thin out. We've actually eaten radishes already, but they were very small. More radishes, our broccoli, and our English peas. So, this is the gardens. Look at this. And y'all, my tomatoes never did do well. Did the video on tomato gate and the seedlings. They just didn't do well, the ones I restarted. So I am going to start over with different seed, and I'm probably going to start this week. But I'm in no rush because I've got all this, and I want it to do well this year. I really want to have broccoli. I want to have my cabbage. And you can see with these cabbages, look at that. They're doing very well, very well. The temps have been perfect. Cool at night, warmer during the day. Lots of rain. Look at that. They're doing beautifully. And of course the kale, it always does great for us. So even our cauliflower, look at this. It's jumped significantly. Red acre cabbage down here. Looks great. Great, great. So that's what we've got, guys. It's looking very good. But I'm noticing my cabbages are starting to form in the very center, like the beginnings of little heads. So even if this doesn't make a big beautiful head of cabbage, it'll still be edible. It'll be good. I'm just glad for once we're able to have an early spring garden. So that's what we've got going on. We're anxiously awaiting our peas, and I'm trying to see if I can jump over and show you this lettuce. This is the Cimarron lettuce. It's making a good stand. I've got more radishes over here. Got cabbage everywhere. More red acre. Got 4 of those. But we've got tons of stuff going, and it all looks great. But there's no comparison in that bed and this bed. They both look good, but that one over there, that's the way to go, guys. So that's what we're building around the house. We're going to plant herbs in it, in that no potting mix bed, and we are going to keep growing. We're holding off right now. We're in the waiting period We're gonna start these tomato seedlings. I'm hoping to get them planted in May. I've never waited that late, but I'm in no rush because I've got all this. So there you go, guys. You can garden in your backyard. You can produce a lot of food. Do it right. All right, we'll see you guys next time on Harmon Homestead.